Hey guys, this is, well, I haven't done one of these in a long time. It is Saturday night's main event video blog, and this is video blog number 3. Now, for those of you who don't know, or probably don't remember what it was, I am going to watch every single Saturday night's main event, including the main event series as well, and at the end, I will determine which was the best Saturday night's main event. Well, with the holidays pretty much over, this Saturday night's main event is a Halloween-themed episode. The event was recorded on October 31st, 1985 in Hershey, Pennsylvania at the Hershey Park Arena, but the episode aired on November the 2nd, 1985. And once again, this got pretty good TV ratings. This got a 6.8 rating. Now we start off with, the usual, intros for, to start off the show. Bobby Heenan preparing for the pumpkin eating bobbing contest. Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant talking about their match. Jesse Ventura talking to Roddy Piper about what happened on the previous Saturday night's main event, and Mean Gene Okerlund interviewing Terry Funk and Jimmy Hart. Excuse me. So after that, after the intro, we get ready for the first match, which is Terry Funk and the Junkyard Dog. Now they show a brief history of Terry Funk, what he's done, and the feud leading up to this huge match where the winner may, more than likely, get a shot at Hulk Hogan in the title. Now, this is a good match. I enjoyed this match. It was a good back and forth match. Terry Funk does end up getting the win with the help of the megaphone, but Junkyard Dog does get a little bit of revenge at the end when he pulls the pants of Jimmy Hart off and brands him. So after that, we go backstage and we begin the Halloween contest. It's 3 different contests of 2 teams. You've got Captain Lou Albano and Bobby Heenan captaining the teams. Now I'll tell you who is on each team. Bobby Heenan's team consists of himself, dressed as Davy Crockett, Macho Man Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth dressed as Tarzan and Jane. Although, to be honest, I would have loved to have seen Elizabeth in a bikini as Jane. Have you ever seen the one with Bo Derek? Wow. Excuse me. Nikolai Volkov as Robin, the Iron Sheik as Batman, and King Kong Bundy as Abraham Lincoln. On the other side, Captain Lou Albano has Tito Santana as Zorro. Sure, that's not racist at all. Making our Mexican wrestler dressed like Zorro. Hulk Hogan dressed as Hercules. Hillbilly Jim, Cousin Jr., and Uncle Elmer dressed as the 3 Musketeers. And Captain Lou Albano dressed as Julius Caesar. So the first one is the pie eating contest between Captain Lou Albano and King Kong Bundy. Whoever eats the most pies in 90 seconds gets the win. And it was Captain Lou Albano who won the pumpkin eating contest, and Bundy put a pie in the face of Albano after it was over. So next up is Piper's Pit. Now, on the previous Saturday night's main event, Roddy Piper interrupted, I should say, with the wedding of Uncle Elmer and Joyce. So all 3 hillbillies are on Piper's Pit. Now they're there because they did not like the actions that Roddy Piper did and also said during the ceremony. And I really like this, excuse me, for the fact that here's Roddy Piper, your top heel in the company at the time. And, excuse me. And, he's had this huge feud with Hogan all year. He's had this feud the last couple of months with Orndorff. Have him with the Hillbillies. That was really good. And then he blames Ventura because Ventura made, some derogatory remarks after, they got married. So, Orton stands on his hands and knees. Piper pushes Cousin Jr. down. And we almost get a brawl, but not quite exactly a brawl. But it does set up for something very interesting. After that, we go to the next event in our contest, the Pumpkin Bobbing Contest between Bobby Heenan and Cousin Jr. I know, Cousin Jr. is fantastic with his wardrobe. Anyway, holding the bag for Bobby Heenan is Randy Savage and Elizabeth. Holding the bag for Cousin Jr., Tito Santana and the Junkyard Dog, and the Junkyard Dog is dressed like a mummy. So whoever bobs the most pumpkins in 60 seconds wins. And in the end, Bobby Heenan ends up getting the win. So we're all tied at 1 going into the final contest, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. Now, excuse me, after that, Mean Gene Okerlund interviews King Kong Bundy, Big John Studd, and Bobby the Brain Heenan because we got the big tag team match. Next, Bundy and Studd against Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. Pardon me. Then we get the interview with Hogan and Andre, and the match begins. And this is a little bit of a different match because early on, Hogan and Andre have advantage of Bundy and Studd. And then as Andre's about to chop Studd, it was Bundy again. He takes his hand back, knocks the referee down, and then chops, excuse me, and then chops, Bundy. And it's total chaos. A new referee comes in, and then towards the end, Bundy and Studd double team Andre, and they get disqualified. Hogan comes in to make the save. So Andre and Hogan win the match. After the match, they both said that they wanted more of Studd and Bundy. Now, unfortunately, on the DVD, this part that I'm about to tell you is not on it, but I do have to mention it. This episode of Saturday Night's Main Event included the broadcast premiere of the music video, The Land of a Thousand Dances, that infamous song from the first wrestling album with all the stars singing. Now, for you younger fans who don't know what I'm talking about, after you watch this video, go to YouTube, type in WWF, and then The Land of a Thousand Dances. Trust me, it's something you'll want to see. So after, pardon me, after that, Mean Gene interviews Macho Man Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth. And, oh man, I gotta tell you. Mean Gene asks probably the single worst question in the history of interviews. And I'm not talking wrestling interviews. I'm talking interviews in general. From presidents, prime ministers, actors, actresses, senators, governors, scientists, sports figures. He asks the worst question ever. Why do you have a female manager? I'm not kidding. He asks, why do you have a female manager? If I was Randy Savage, I would have slapped Gene Okerlund just for that question. But the next match is Randy Savage challenging Tito Santana for the Intercontinental title. And what I liked about this match is that Savage didn't do the whole, hide behind Elizabeth thing. He didn't do that in the match, which I actually enjoyed. Savage does take control of the match. However, towards the end, he attempts a double axe handle, but Santana hits him in the gut and the ribs. Both men go onto the outside of the floor, and both men get counted out of the ring. So we have a double countout. Santana remains Intercontinental Champion, but as we all know, in early 1986, Randy Savage would defeat Tito Santana to become the new Intercontinental Champion. Now, after that, we go to Roddy Piper's house, and we see how he celebrates Halloween. Now, Vince McMahon is in the house of Roddy Piper, and Piper's got bricks and a bowling ball. Oh, boy. And Vince, this is another great interview skill. He's like, so how do you celebrate in native Scotland? And Roddy Piper has this great response. He's like, native Scotland, you think I'm a native? Like, it's so funny, you know. And, you know, he's like, tricks? Retreats! Tricks! Retreats! Trick! Retreats! You know. So, the little kids come, and, you know, one's dressed up as Hulk Hogan, one's dressed, I think, as a gypsy, one's, I don't know. So, Piper takes the bowling ball wrapped as a candy apple in one kid's bag, breaks the bag, gets the candy, drops the brick, you know, gets the candy. But after that, Roddy Piper gets caught as he's eating hot chocolate-flavored red peppers. Now, apparently, and I couldn't find it on this video, apparently Stephanie McMahon is in that segment. I'm not sure if that's true. If anybody can confirm that, that would truly be appreciated. So after that, we get a comment from Hulk Hogan where he's talking about how he's glad those kids pulled off that trick on Piper. What the hell? So anyway, then Mean Gene is in the back with Mr. Fuji because Mr. Fuji's getting ready for the Kung Fu Challenge. And Fuji gets prepared and he's like this. You know, he's making these weird sounds with the hands and all that stuff. It's weird crap. And he breaks a couple bricks. He breaks a board to get ready. And then we come back. Steamboat does the interview. And we have a Kung Fu Challenge. Ricky Steamboat against Mr. Fuji. Now, mostly, you know, you do see the martial arts, but Steamboat does win at the end with a drop kick from the top rope. After the match, Morocco blew red mist into the eyes of Ricky Steamboat, and Morocco and Fuji attacked Ricky Steamboat. And that was pretty cool to see Morocco using the mist on Ricky Steamboat. It was very different. So now we go to the final contest in this 3-challenge war, I guess we can say, and it's the Pumpkin Pass. Now, the rules are you have 60 seconds to pass the pumpkin. You cannot use your hands. You got to pass it with your neck. Whichever team passed their pumpkin the furthest got the win. So, Captain Lou's team was only able to get to 5. So, Bobby Heenan's team, you know, all they got to do is they got to get more than 5 and they win. And they have a late edition. It's Super Roddy. Yes, Roddy Piper dressed up as Superman. And the action gets real intense as Elizabeth is trying to pass to Piper, and she failed. They only got to 4. So Captain Lou Albano's team got the win. So after that, we get word from Jesse Ventura about how he and Piper want the Hillbillies on the next Saturday night's main event, and that pretty much ends the show. So what did I think about this show overall? Well, excuse me, if you watched my last review, I didn't like the second one. This one was a lot better. Now, with this one, however, it wasn't as good as the first. I still think of the 3, the first one was the best. However, on a scale of 1 to 10, I gotta give this about a 6. Gotta give this a 6. The Halloween segments were good. Not a lot of matches, only 4. 2 of them had, or actually 3 of them had a lot of meaning at this time. Funk and JYD, the tag team match, and Steamboat and Fuji. Savage and Santana hadn't had much of a meaning at this point in time, but eventually it will in the 1986. All in all, it's a good show. Like I said, it's better than the second one. But still, this is better than the second one, but not as good as the first one. So, on the next Saturday night's main event review, we will see the 6-man tag team match with the Hillbillies against Roddy Piper, Jesse Ventura, and Bob Orton. Hulk Hogan makes a defense of the WWF title, and we begin a very interesting love triangle. Randy Macho Man Savage, Miss Elizabeth, and George the Animal Steele. Wonder how that will go as I continue with more Saturday Night's Main Event.